You're listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors Radio, where we turn it upside down and look at the outside from the inside out. It's safe, it's legal, and we're having a blast. So put your shoes on, my friend, because we're going outdoors.
Good evening, Mike. Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors.
What's wrong with good evening?
Well, you know what? I've been watching our old shows,
You don't like
and
the
I
intro?
used to say "Good evening, outdoors," so it was stuck in my head.
And you like that.
I had a nostalgic moment. And that's almost 3 years ago.
Do it again.
What?
Do it again. I know, right?
Good evening, outdoors. Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I am Rodney Rogers. That right there is my partner, Coach Ease in Crime. Woo, Mike Muttley, the man himself.
And I'm thrilled, honored, and excited to be here tonight.
Man, I'm excited to be. This is our 1 hour vacation. It has been for almost 3 years now. This is going to be our third Christmas or fourth. We kind of started at a weird time, so
Yeah, I think it's our third full year, but we started at Christmas time.
right.
So, it's,
So it'll be our fourth Christmas,
it's
right?
going to be our fourth Christmas.
Okay, so it'll be our fourth Christmas. So,
Tonight is episode 140, I do believe.
and we're almost at Christmas again.
Yeah, I know.
Mike, should we have a party at 150? I'm just saying. We got Gnarly Barley wanting us to have a party.
I know. We got places to go, people to do,
People, yeah,
things
we're-
to see, and
So this is our 1 hour vacation. You can reach us, and Mike just hooked us up with a new way to reach us. You can reach us in several different ways. If you look right at the bottom, you'll see us at 262-345-7763. You can call right into the show. Mike will put you live on air and ask us any questions or tell us off or tell Mike off, whatever you want to do.
do it.
You can also hashtag us at hashtag RROR. Do the lights still flash?
They do.
And our lights will flash.
They
so
do.
you will know when your text comes in. And you can also text us your question at the 262-345-7763.
We made it simple.
So that text will come right into my Teleo phone while we're doing the show. And probably 2 o'clock in the morning. And I will hunt you down and put a skunk in your house.
Yeah, there's a couple things that's behind the scenes that's helped. For example, a sample. I had the comment, I don't want to say complaint, but the comment that when you went to the Rodney Rogers Outdoors live page, when you clicked on the logo,
Right.
that you had to keep hitting refresh
Oh, really?
and
Okay.
go to so that when we started the stream, that you then had to click on it.
Oh,
No more, Rodney.
you fix this.
No more.
You
You launched the page. You don't have to touch it.
It's ready.
We could start the stream and stop it and start it again. You don't have to touch it. It just shows
It's
up.
just ready to
So
go.
no more refreshing, no clicking play. Just go to the site and it rolls.
We just got a text in, brand new text. Do the lights flash with text?
Well,
No. Well, uh-oh.
Yeah,
They could.
They do, but not the ones you see.
My lights on my phone?
No, these here that you and I will see flash on the text.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it takes a minute to read, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, we might as well go behind the scenes a little bit because that's what I do.
That's your expertise.
I actually see the text come in on my computer as well.
Okay.
So I can read do the lights flash with the text.
Okay.
And
right
so,
on.
So I see him, you see him.
Oh, so I don't have to monitor.
You don't? You can? I mean, certainly. But
I'm going to let you do that.
I
How's
think
that
it's
sound?
important that we don't, if people want to say something, we don't miss it.
Exactly. That's our key.
So,
and that's why
yeah.
we did this whole thing. So when, so those questions are out there.
Yeah.
And we got some good questions when I was doing the live a few minutes ago, that we're going to answer a little bit in the show, a little bit later in the show.
Yeah,
and
next week we install the electric buzzers under the
What's
seats.
this? Oh, man. Let me guess. Mine will go first for the test subject.
We expect a lot of
Buzzing.
participation.
Yeah. For some reason, I don't doubt that, Mike Coy. I'm surprised it's not under there now, and I'm going to get surprised here shortly. So I see, Mike, as soon as I pull up my Google Maps, just saying, the first thing I see is Full Sail University. That must be close to us.
Yeah, we are close.
Okay.
We are close. 4 miles to be
I'm like, it's
exact.
haunting us.
Yes. So let's talk. What do
Okay.
you got? What do you got going on, Rodney?
So,
What'd you do
Mike,
this weekend?
But that's, you know what? I'm glad you asked.
I'm sorry I asked. because that should go without saying.
You should.
I wanted to create a poster of you, of what a Saturday with Rodney looks like.
Oh my God, Mike!
This is true. You know how you get these little apps on your phone where you can select all these pictures and it does a collage and a montage.
Right.
I couldn't find an app that would accept as many photos as I needed to put into that collage of your weekend catching bass.
That means we were busy. Man, dude, and you should see what's on my phone. I mean, we sat in one place and caught 27 bass. My nephew was driving down the road, and he saw us on the side of the road and pulls over. And I said, get in the boat, man. You know, we had a 16-foot canoe, and he goes, can that hold us? I said, heck yeah. So, we're, rocky at best.
No one got wet.
No one got wet. Nick and I have been doing this for 40 years. So we've got this whole canoe. Man, I fell out of a canoe when I was in my teens. That's probably the last time.
Really?
Yeah. But, so we're catching so many fish, and guess what we were using, Mike Coy?
I'm going to guess you're using Dirty Grub.
What?
The Rodney Rogers special.
The Rodney Rogers special. We were using the Dirty Grub. So we were using the pumpkin seed at first, and we were hitting one bass here, one bass there, and I slid on the chartreuse. And I just said, let me hit this chartreuse. And man, the water clarity, and this is what I talk about. Experiment. I was using the same exact lure, but I changed the colors up. And what happened is in that clarity, in the water clarity that it was that chartreuse just was like a glow in the dark worm. And I'm like, oh yeah. And then we tripled our catch. I mean, we went from one every 20 casts to one every other cast.
Well, what was interesting is correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you were catching them all day long.
All day long. All day long. Couple reasons. One is the water temperature was starting to warm up. They were getting a little more active, and these bass are feeding up for spawning. So they were getting, little bellies on them. The bass we were pulling up, they were getting some bellies. So, and then my nephew made the comment of, man, I'd like to keep some to fillet. And we were in a pond that was just absolutely loaded with bass. And I always say, if you're harvesting a huge number of certain size bass, the bass that we were harvesting, that we actually harvested, were in the 1.5 to 2 pound range. A couple of reasons I would say keep it in that range. One is there's a lot of those fish out there. Two is it's right at that mercury level. It's about a 1.5 year old fish. You don't want a 5-year-old fish. The mercury levels are a little bit higher. It's not unless you eat it every single day, every minute of the day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you'll be fine. But you got to accept that all fish have mercury. So we kept, we're just throwing them in my live well, and we ended up keeping 13 for him. He filled up a gallon bag.
It's interesting because when we talk about offshore and stuff, we usually touch on bag limits and stuff like that. But when we're talking about bass, it's usually catch and release.
Right.
What is the keep?
It's 5 per person.
5 per
5
person.
black bass per person. Now remember, starting in June of 2017. It may have already started this past June, but I thought it was 2017. I'll look that up for you. There's no limit. Remember, they got rid of it. There's no size limit and there's no keep limit. So
for bass?
For bass. And the reason is not enough people are actually keeping bass. Our program has worked so well.
Wow.
Now, they still have the higher end limits, of the size bass that you can keep on your length.
Sure.
Your overall length. But you can keep a 6-inch bass and fillet it if you want. It used to be 14 inches, but now there's no size limit.
That really is an interesting point because
the catch and releases work so well that now we're in a position where we need to keep some fish. They'll just run themselves out. And we both drink coffee at the same time. What is that? That is, Mike, you picked a good one.
You like that? We got some new stuff. We need to alternate. We need a signal. When that light is green, you drink your coffee. When that light is green,
you drink your coffee.
I got my coffee.
So,
do you have any space? And I'm sorry to talk logistics.
Nope, you're good.
But we've been slamming and jamming on.
Right.
Do you have room to scoot up a little bit?
Absolutely, man. Watch this.
Because this is your show.
How's this?
And all I see
and
is
I'm out
me.
of camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's much better. Thank you very much. Sorry to crowd you, but yes.
Once I'm in a position, I go, okay, I don't want to mess up the camera.
No, you're good.
Okay, so we're good.
Neil, sorry
this
to
is
derail.
actually better for me.
You look much better now.
So, and then, so here's the thing. As fishermen, your buddies razz you a lot. And I always said, some people go, well, I've never fished a tournament. And I always say, have you fished with your buddy? And they go, yeah. And I said, then you fished a tournament.
Oh, interesting.
Because you want to catch more than your buddy. Period. I don't care who you are. You can say, no, I want my buddy to, be successful. Yeah. No, you want him to be successful. But you want to catch more than him while he's been successful.
There's something built into us that,
Well, we all know Nick. Nick is no exception to the rule. I had him.
You're bringing names into it now.
Oh, I'm calling him out. Calling him out. Only because it worked out in my favor. So, we start out. I put him in the front of the boat. I want him to get his first 10-pound bass. He's never caught a 10-pound bass, and we've been fishing together for 40 years. So, I'm really focused on it, but I want to catch fish too.
Sure.
Yeah. So that morning, Saturday morning, he catches a 5-pounder and then a 4.5-pounder, and then a 3.5-pounder, and then a 2.5-pounder. Now, I still don't have a fish. We're 4 fish into this, and I don't even have a bite, and I'm like, oh no, I'm focusing on you, man, and I'm focusing on you. Meanwhile, I'm going by and not catching fish, so he's like, so he looks back at me and he goes, man, this catching fish alone, I'm getting bored up here by myself, just, being the guy with, and then it starts, then the wave starts. So we go to the next fishing spot. He catches a fish there and he's like, oh, we're weighing him, and he goes, dude, don't even cast your pole. Just have the scale ready at this point. So, I'm being razzed,
Yeah.
So we go to the next hole.
Game on.
And I'm like, okay, I got to put my game face on. So I catch one about 6 inches long, little bitty fella. And I'm trying to get it in and get it off the hook before he sees it. And he's going, hold on, let me get the scale. Hold on, let me get, he's really pouring it on. He's laughing. I'm laughing because I can't, he's already caught me. So, I go to throw the fish back in. He goes, oh, no, let me get your picture with this thing. You better hold it a little close to the camera, So he's razzing me. So we come up to the spot. And this is the spot in the whole lake. I'm like, I need to get to this spot. So all the conditions are perfect for a big fish. And I didn't have a hollow-bodied frog tied on. And I told him, we're going to get here. I said, cast right in the middle of this stuff. Other fishermen don't like other fishermen telling them what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm a fisherman. I know what I'm doing.
It's a man's world, yeah.
Right. So he's casting the outer edges, and I'm going, so I just tie on a frog. I'm like, I cut my line loose, I tie on a frog, and I cast in the middle of the stuff. And that's when the big mama hit. I mean, that's when it went down like you don't even know.
Wow.
That's when I caught the 8.5-pounder. And then from then on, it was on.
But this was all day long, was it
not?
This
was all... We fished from 5:30 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, you were still going when the sun was going down.
Yeah, at dark we caught our last 2 fish. As a matter of fact, we'd caught 15 or 16 fish apiece. He was one ahead of me, and I caught the fish that caught us up. At dark, we're headed back to the truck. I caught the fish that hooked. And as I'm getting it to the boat, he catches a fish. He ends that day one ahead of me.
Well,
so
we got a text. I don't know if you saw it, but somebody said if they only knew people would pay good money to spend a weekend with Rodney.
Oh man,
that's true.
I wish they would. How much could we get? No, thank you so much. You know what?
But that's value added right there. I mean, that's a prize in itself, and I spend a lot of time with you, and I could I don't take that for granted. But that's a prize. That's a prize package right there waiting to happen.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm humbled. I don't even know how to respond.
You don't need to, but it's the truth.
To me, it's a fun day, and anybody that I take hunting or fishing, I wish I could take everybody. I get so many texts and messages of, man, I'd love to go. It's my fun. And I just love there to be 100 of me so I could take us all out on this, these escapades that I go on. And everybody enjoy it. And that's why I try to post so much. But sometimes I'm just in the moment so much that I forget to post. And then, but I promise I'll start posting and everybody will be there with me the whole time. How's that sound?
And maybe we have, if people would jump on board and do their lip sync contest.
Yes.
Maybe a day in the canoe with Rodney would be a great prize.
Man, Mike.
Think about that, right?
Well, You know what?
Mike, what?
Let's throw it in there.
I got something else for you,
Let's throw it in there.
Here we go. Thrown in there.
You've got mail.
Letters. We get letters. We get...
Stop. Whoa, yes. Wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Send me an email with all the details.
Another freaking email. Another freaking email song.
Mail time.
Mail time. Mail time. Mail time. The mail's here.
Yeah, on a top flight, hold you tight, get you there by daylight, bring you right overnight mail.
Scale 1 to 10? Am I like an 8?
No, yeah, you're a 7 or 8.
Is that
I
7 or
absolutely
8?
think so, yeah.
7? Couldn't have been 8 or 9.
You're more fluent throughout the entire thing.
Oh, yeah.
Before his pieces, but you're collectively
That's right.
nailing it.
Collectively now. Where can they find that clip at?
Rodney Rogers Outdoors /letters.
Woohoo!
See Rodney do it in all his glory and download the MP3 so you yourself can do your own.
Somebody's got to send that in. I dare
video.
You know what? We'll throw that in. We'll throw in the winner gets to fish with me for a day. How's that sound?
I think that's great.
I'll take you to some cool spots.
Again, I mean,
if you could trust me blindfolded.
I know people out there can do I know Brittany does a mean Ice Baby. We've said it before, so we pull up footage of that one.
Oh, please do.
Rodney, we have some great questions tonight.
Let's do them, man. Let's get to it.
Nina from Winter Garden, Florida, wants to know, what is a good age to start allowing a child to handle a gun?
That is a phenomenal question. My children started handling my guns at about 5 years old. My son shot my .44 Magnum, where he was with me when I was shooting it, and I kind of had him, I wanted him to, I don't know, I just feel like I know I was introduced very early, and I respected guns very early. I think there's 100 different methods, and there's 100 different analogies out there. I think if you give the child the opportunity to touch and feel, then it takes away the curiosity. So when I cleaned my guns when I was, when my kids were small, they would help me. We would go through the whole process of looking to see if it's empty. We'd go through the whole process of gun oil, cleaning, eject, so the whole spiel. So I say when you feel comfortable as early as you can, introduce them very early because you want to get rid of that curiosity. A child, and I've said it a million times, we've got children with ADD. We never had ADD when I was young because we were told to get outside. Right. When you hem up a child in a house, you're dang right they're going to have ADD because they're children. They need to learn. So you have to feed that. They're bouncing off the walls for a reason. Throw them outside, and man, the world is just so exploratory. So many things to see. It cures ADD, not Adderall, not none of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So get them outside. So the earlier, the better. Now, the discretionary age would be up to you. I started mine at 5.
Is there a legal age?
No, there's not a legal age.
As far as introducing them, as far as carrying on their own, is it 18 or 21?
Yes. As far as carrying it on their own, no, it's even younger than that. I mean, if they're with you and they have a shotgun, they can be 10 years old carrying a shotgun with you.
Okay.
They just can't be 10 years old hunting with a shotgun by themselves. Now, when I was 12 years old, I had my own 30-30 hunting Ocala National Forest. It wasn't legal, but that's how my dad was raised, and that's how he raised me. And he raised me the same way. He raised me a little bit different. He raised me that I couldn't touch the guns, period, unless we were hunting or fishing. And I wanted to touch them a little more, so I didn't get to touch them as often as I wanted. Mine was 5. You picked the age you would like to introduce your children.
Good.
Great question, Nina. Thank you so much.
That's a good question. Here's one from Sharp99 in St. Louis, Missouri. What is a HIP number on a hunting license?
I got no clue. This one's got me slammed. What's a HIP number?
Well, he's from St. Louis, so I wonder if it's something that's not necessarily Florida.
Yeah.
Just thinking out loud.
Yeah, I will. A HIP number. That's actually
HIP.
So that's a Missouri number.
It's a Missouri number.
I will find that out before the end of the show.
Note made. HIP number.
HIP number.
All right, moving on. Austin K from St. Augustine, Florida. Deer tagging, Rodney. Do I need to attach the tag before field dressing the animal or moving it?
It depends on where you're from. If you're from up north, like when I shot elk, I got an elk tag. Yes, before you do anything, you tag that animal. The Florida, you do not have to tag. But in most states, you get tags, and yes, you do. So the first thing you do, you can't even hunt without those tags. So it's, it's not like you go shoot a deer and then you go get your tags and come back. You tag that thing before you move, because if someone else tags your animal, it's their animal. They don't have to shoot it.
Oh.
Yes, before you do anything, you tag that animal. The Florida, you do not have to tag. Should I lip sync?
Please do. Sorry. I don't even know where it came from.
Mike, that was awesome.
That was goofy, wasn't it?
That was awesome. So, definitely tag that animal. So, like I said, if someone else tags it, it's their animal. So, yes, when there's tags, available, you must tag that animal. And the HIP registration, we call it something different. It's called the Harvest Information Program. So, some places have...
So that's a regional thing.
Yes.
St. Louis.
Yes, so you have to report your harvest. Now, right now, Missouri has a problem with CWP, chronic wasting disease, CWD, chronic wasting disease. Now, that is a disease that deer get, and it wipes out herds. I mean, it could really put the damage on a population. So, if I'm not mistaken, they're asking that if you harvest the deer in Missouri, you have to take it to the Department of Natural Resources and get it checked out to make sure. And then you have to, this is where the Harvest Information Program comes in. They want to know, it's vital. Any information you give the state of Florida about your animal, please do. I mean, it helps us. It helps the game.
Now, is this a living disease? They're not dying and getting this. They're living, and it's killing them?
Yeah, it's killing them. And they're passing it on when they brush up against each other, their glands. So it's a bad deal. So, you have to tag your deer before you do anything to the deer, even field dressing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very important.
Okay. Well, I think we got time for one more. If you do, Rodney.
I do.
Dylan, Gotha, Florida. Can you offer any tips on choosing a good deer hunting rifle?
Yes, I can. But basically, and this is how I chose mine, and this is probably an age-old question, and you can ask 100 hunters that very question, and I bet you would get 100 different answers. I've had the same hunting rifle for almost 17 years. I've actually got two. In the state of Florida, you have to look at where you're going to hunt most of the time. In the state of Florida, we don't have a lot of open areas. So do you need a gun that shoots 500 to 700 yards away?
Oh, interesting.
So the answer to that is most likely no. You're mostly in short distances, 100 yards or less. Now you want a caliber that will, is a great, what they call a great knockdown caliber for, a deer. And that starts around, people do it with 223s, so forth and so on. I would start with a minimum of a 30-30. So a great deer rifle for the state of Florida is a 30-30. Now, I have a 30-06 single shot, and that's what I hunt deer with in Florida. And I have a 300 Winchester Magnum, and the reason I have that is because I do elk hunt in Colorado, and I do get those 500-yard shots. So it's not that you can't make it with a 30-06.
Sure.
But the barrel is shorter on my single shot. So I wouldn't take it to Colorado to try to make that shot. I call it my brush gun. I can shoot a 200-yard shot if needed, but most of my shots are within that 100 yards. So basically, look at the area you're going to hunt. I wouldn't get anything less than a 30-30, and then that would be my, if you want lever action, single shot, whatever you want. Remember, spend your money on those optics. The optics are going to make all the difference in the world. When I say optics, I mean your scope and your binoculars. Right. You want that advantage when it comes to deer hunting.
Are you listening to this? Gems. I'm telling you, hidden gems in every...
Little pieces.
I would have never thought of the state you're in making a difference on what gun you might choose.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. Now, if you have plans, like I said, if you have plans hunting somewhere else and you can only afford one good rifle, then there's nothing wrong. You can hunt the state of Florida with a 300 Win Mag. There's nothing wrong with that. The 100, it's phenomenal. It's my gosh, it's a laser at 100 yards.
Yeah.
And anything closer, But I like my short gun, my short 30-06, and the rifle was $176. A Harrington Richardson single knot
We'll fix it in post.
30-06. And I have a $500 scope on it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So the optics are everything.
Wow.
So if you got that zeroed in, man, it's the awesomest.
Speaking of hunting, we're going to talk some duck hunting tonight.
Yes, we are.
All right.
I dare
In the meantime, let's take a break, and we'll be
With
right
116,000 foreclosures in the state of Florida alone as of January 2014, a quality contractor is critical to the process of returning a foreclosed house back into a home. Let me introduce you to Phillips Contracting Incorporated. They are Florida State certified and an approved REO repair vendor for both Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. PCI currently provides multi-level services to realtors, banks, asset managers, and private homeowners. Although they specialize in dealing with REO property repairs, they are a design-build company.
Here at PCI, we pride ourselves on professional, high-quality work. Our clients know that we're not your typical contractor. We're proud to be reliable, trustworthy partners with you. Our repair coordinators are ready to communicate with you honestly and quickly about every aspect of your project. We're here to say yes to our clients.
Phillips Contracting services Florida from Orlando to Miami. Whether you're looking for a quote, repair updates, or just want to talk business, give them a call at 941-483-3800.
Gnarly barley, come see why the whole world's singing.
What are you doing?
Dude, I am writing a song for Gnarly Barley.
I see that, but first of all, I didn't realize you could sing. Second of all, why don't you just tell the people how great the Gnarly Barley is, give them the address, and move on with the show?
Dude, have you ever had their flatbread? Their jalapeno flatbread with the cream cheese on top and the chicken and the special sauce on it. Holy moly. No, wait a minute. Obviously, by the look on your face, you ain't never had that big time Fiesta. Jalapenos, provolone cheese, tomatoes, red onions, and again, Fiesta lime.
Okay, that's it. Shut up, Chuck. We're out of here.
Are you serious?
Come on, we're out of here.
Truly one of Orlando's hidden gems, the Gnarly Barley offers a contemporary selection of bites and brews, serving a mind-blowing selection of craft beers and original mouth-watering menu creations. The Gnarly Barley and its incredibly accommodating staff have created a place that really is difficult to put into words. So do yourself a huge favor and come see why people are singing the praises of the Gnarly Barley.
Oh my goodness.
I told you that big time Fiesta.
That is phenomenal. I totally get why you're trying to write a song for that.
Not as simple as you thought, huh?
No. Okay, check this out. Gnarly Barley. Come see why the whole town's singing Gnarly Barley. Buy some brews.
Located at 7431 South Orange Avenue in Orlando, Florida.
Hi, I'm Etchen, and I listen to Rodney Rogers Outdoors.
Well, here's the Ashton. Thank you, buddy, for listening to us. I love it when people do that.
We need more.
That is, we totally need
more. And more.
So, Mike, here we are. We're back at it, and guess what this weekend starts?
Well, I listened to you on 104.1 and heard you say gator hunting season
is over.
Is over, and we're moving on to duck hunting season.
Yes, we are. Good thinking. And you can definitely hear us on 104.1 with Russ and the Monsters every Monday morning at 8 o'clock. And as a matter, just real quick, shameless plug for my buddy Vance. He's going to be on the Shark Tank with line cutters.
When is this?
This is tomorrow, or Friday night, the 18th. So
okay, yeah. What is today? Tuesday, of course.
Tuesday, Tuesday.
So is that show live or is it
No.
pre-recorded?
It's already pre-recorded.
But it's airing Friday night.
Yes, it's airing Friday night. And man, I wanted to fly to Wisconsin so bad. If it wouldn't have been
it taped in Wisconsin?
No. He's there having a line cutters party.
I got you.
And he invited me.
You mean for Friday?
Like,
I got you.
How awesome would it be just to surprise him and hang out with him, man?
Gotcha.
Vance is a phenomenal guy. So check out line cutters. We will have them on.
That's cool.
Just so you know, I have ordered them. You and I haven't went over to the logistics, but it's happening. So anyway, we got duck season coming, Mike, and last night I kind of talked about a little bit of giving away my secret areas, and they're not really secret, but I want people to be successful this duck season.
Well, here's. I watched the show last night, and you did a great job. Or, the 45 minutes you talked, 10 minutes turns into an hour.
I thought it was going to be literally a 10-minute deal.
But it didn't. It felt like 10 minutes. I mean,
Right.
it didn't feel like 45 minutes. But the more, and here's one thing I love about listening to you talk about the outdoors, Rodney, because when I start feeling like I have questions I want to ask, it's because things are clicking.
Right.
And the more I hear you talk and discuss how to do things, or a certain hunting or fishing, I start getting more and more questions. And last night, while you were broadcasting, talking about locations, questions started popping up. But I'm an A to Z kind of. I like to get the big picture.
Right.
Especially for somebody like myself who I've never duck hunted.
Right.
So first of all, it's new to me, but I like to get the overall picture. So I was wondering if tonight if we could
break it down
and walk through
Okay.
a duck hunting season, what that means.
That's perfect.
I mean, starting with, let's just start. You get your license. We know you go to the FWC. You can click on it and buy your license.
So let's talk about.
But let's talk specifics. Let's talk this weekend. You're going duck hunting.
This weekend I'm going duck hunting, and I still haven't bought my license.
Okay, so you go to FWC, right? You're gonna do it online.
So here's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
So let's start
Let's
right
start.
there. Let's talk about what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy my duck hunting license. So what does that entail? Well, if I'm gonna duck hunt, I need to figure out what area I'm gonna duck hunt.
Are you undressing?
I gotta.
Woo. It's balmy in here.
Well,
Sorry.
this is a winter thing too. I thought it'd be
This just in, Rodney.
This just in. I'm gonna love this.
You are? Okay.
Thank you for calling Rodney Rogers Outdoors. Who are we speaking with?
Hey, brother, this is Marie.
How you doing?
Hey, Bill wants to know what school do you go to if you shoot the wrong ducks when you're duck hunting?
What school?
Yeah.
What school do you go to if you shoot the wrong ducks? You go to the Federal School of I'm giving you a ticket.
Because he's never duck hunted.
Okay, well, tell him to pay attention to the next 30 minutes because we're gonna put it on him.
That is a good question.
Yes. So.
Okay, thank you.
You got it.
Thanks for the call.
Love y'all.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Every caller needs to say, "I love you guys." Before you hang
every
up.
caller.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That is absolutely.
Yeah, and Hollow Point's actually asking what license do you need?
Okay,
how much for duck hunting? So here we go.
Okay, we're gonna break it down for you. You're gonna start by going to myfwc.com, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna go down to purchase your license. Here's what we need to hunt ducks. We gotta have a hunting license. You can't hunt in the state of Florida, so no matter what you hunt, with the exception of hogs, you have to have your hunting license.
Blanket hunting license.
Blanket hunting license. That covers everything.
You can hunt.
You can hunt.
Okay.
Okay. So now we got to ask
how much?
That's $14.50. So we're at $14.
Do I need to keep track of this? You got this.
So we're pretty close.
You continue. $14.
So we're at $14. So then we got to have we're hunting ducks. So now we had to have a federal duck stamp.
Okay.
That's $25. Okay, you got it?
Yep.
So we're at $40. We're just under $40, but on the most part, let's just say we're at $40.
We'll round up.
So now we need a migratory bird stamp.
Amanda, do you have to have that?
They have to have it.
Because there's not local ducks?
No. Now,
I mean, it's a fair question, right?
Yeah. Here's what the migratory bird stamp does. Now, you have to have that if you're hunting bird, dove, quail, any bird that you're hunting in the state of Florida, crow, whatever you're hunting, you have to have a migratory bird stamp. Okay? Now, here's what that does. That clicks a box. It's free, and that clicks a box.
Migratory is free.
Yeah, the migratory bird stamp is free. And what that's going to do is that's going to click a box to get a survey mailed to you.
Okay.
Or emailed to you. And what it's going to say is, did you hunt migratory birds? Be it dove, quail, blah, blah, blah. Yes. Okay, how many snipe did you kill? 5. How many woodcock did you kill? 4. How many ducks did you kill? Over the season, I killed 24 ducks. Awesome. How many, and it's just what they want to know is this is how they keep track of, how many birds were harvested over the
Okay.
year, throughout the year. Okay? Does that make sense?
It does. I'll keep my elementary questions so we can continue progress.
Okay.
But it does make sense.
No. Yeah, whatever question you have, I promise you, they probably have it as well. Then you need a waterfowl stamp.
This is our fourth one.
This is our
the
fourth
third one is free. We're at $40. Number 3 is free.
$5 for the waterfowl.
So $45.
So now we're at $45. Now, pick your area that you want to hunt. If you hunt a non-wildlife management area, you do not need a wildlife management stamp.
Okay.
But if you do, and I will give you an example, Emerald Marsh, which is my absolute, positively most favorite area to hunt, and just north of Leesburg is Emerald Marsh. You have to have a wildlife management area stamp and an Emerald Marsh stamp, which is a total of about $57.
Oh wow! So we just jumped from
45
jumped from
40 to $100.
$110-ish.
Yeah. So pick your area, but let's just for sakes, let's just say we're hunting a non-wildlife management area. Let's say we're hunting Lake Toho. So let's go down to Lake Toho. Most likely, let's just say, all intents and purposes, I'm hunting Lake Toho. Now, so here we are in Lake Toho. We do not need a wildlife management area stamp. So you only need the stamps that I talked about. Hunting license, waterfowl, migratory bird, and duck stamp. Those are what you need to hunt a non-wildlife management area. Okay? So now you got to get ready for the hunt. You got to hunt out of a boat.
So we're done with licenses.
We're done with licenses.
Okay. So 110
if you hunt
non.
No, 110 if you hunt management area.
Okay,
Emerald Marsh.
Okay, gotcha.
But let's keep that let's keep it simple. We're not hunting a management area.
This weekend you are going to be in Lake Toho?
This weekend, I'm going to be one of two places. I'm going to be in Stick Marsh or Lake Toho.
Okay.
And I'll be in the south end of Lake Toho is where the ducks are flying.
Okay.
So, let's just for argument's sake, we're hunting Lake Toho.
Okay.
Okay. So we need those 4 stamps, those 4 things to duck hunt. Now you have to use steel shot. So when you duck hunt in water, when you duck hunt, period, it doesn't matter if you're in water or not, you have to use steel shot. You have to determine, what steel shot you're going to use. I would use a 6 or a 7. It's a little more pellets. You got to have the birds a little bit closer because steel shot does not travel as far as lead shot. It let's just say, for instance, we have a distance. Let's say this is 60 yards. You shoot lead shot, you got a good shot.
Okay.
You shoot steel shot, it dies out at about 20 yards early.
Oh, interesting.
The duck keeps flying.
Okay.
So if you're used to hunting with lead shot with dove, it's going to change your whole world.
The ducks are really hoping you're using steel shot.
The ducks are like, they'll taunt you. Trust me. So knowing that, you have to bring these ducks in a little closer. You've got a couple options. Or no, you don't have options. Here's what you're going to do to bring them in closer. One is camouflage is the key. If you just park your boat out in the open, you're not going to get a duck flying anywhere near you. I don't care how many duck calls you got, and I don't care how well your buddy is at calling. They're not going to come near your boat. Because remember, these ducks have flown south. They've crossed 50 states, or 13, 14 states that have duck hunted all the way to us. All their seasons starts before us. So we're getting some high pressure ducks down here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These ducks are pretty daggone savage.
They're the smartest of the smartest.
Yeah. So they've had that pressure before they got to us. Some have, some haven't, but most have.
Yeah. Interesting.
So camouflage is the key. What makes a great camouflage if you can't afford all the fancy nets and stuff? Palmetto fronds. Go out, pull off the side of the road. Florida is loaded with palmetto fronds.
Natural habitat.
Habitat. And cut it off as long as you possibly can cut it. So, get the real long ones, get some small ones, and cut it off as long as you can, because a lot of times you can anchor them to the lake bottom.
Oh, gotcha.
And anchor it to the lake bottom and cover your boat from that. That's my primary camouflage is palm fronds.
Okay.
I can cover me up and poop, we can come out of it. So camouflage is going to be your number one friend when it comes to duck season. Decoys is another option. Now, you don't need 50,000 decoys.
Do you need a decoy?
You need a decoy.
It's really key to your duck hunt.
It really is. I mean, if you're going to duck hunt, you can buy them in a minimum of a half a dozen. And if I was going to buy just a half a dozen of decoys, I'd buy a half dozen teal decoys, throw them out there for $29, and poof, you got 6 decoys out there.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And you can spread them out however you want. 6 decoys, there's really not enough there to pattern any kind of decoys. Now, I've got probably 50 decoys, and I've never thrown all 50 out. The reason I have so many is because I might put one guy here, I might put one guy here, and I'll give each one a few decoys and set them up. And I have what's called mojos. I have the motorized flapping ducks. And I have 3 because if I put 3 guys out, I want each one to have a mojo.
Some sort of action, get the
Some
attention.
sort of action to get the ducks to fly in. Now, I'm not big on duck calling. If I duck call this year, it will be my first year. I've had a little practice.
Did you want to practice now?
No.
Okay.
No. Because there might be a real duck caller out there.
I'm here for you if you...
Whack, 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 whack. So if a real duck caller hears me, he will laugh. So, and I put these mojos. Honestly, if I was going to buy one duck call, $49, I'd buy that mojo, and I wouldn't buy another decoy. I really would.
Okay.
I've hunted with nothing but just one, mojo, and harvested all 6 ducks as they flew into my mojo.
So, not having been an avid caller yourself, is that optional? Is doing the calls kind of a icing on the cake? Kind of thing, or is that key to this process as well?
A good caller would swear that he's the guy that brought these ducks in, and he may be.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't swear by it because I've never done it. I hear guys that do it all the time.
It's a valid point.
And when we all get to the thing, we all got 6 ducks.
Sure.
So,
that's a good,
you know what I mean?
valid point.
What works and what don't is the big thing. But I do know that mojo works. I mean, the mojo. I've had them come in with just that single mojo duck and sit down and watch it, and then suddenly realize that duck's never going to land.
So is that the... One, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, the devil's after me. I said a 4, 5, 6. You might be live again.
Okay, so I could be good again.
You could be.
I could be live again.
Executive producer, please let us know.
So
yeah, I think I just kicked the cord and I unplugged the whole
shebang. Just crashed.
Shebangle.
The whole shebangle just went to dangle.
So So we've got all of our pieces of gear.
So we've got
together
our license together. We've got our gear. Now we're focused on our gear.
Yep.
We want to get camouflage for our boat. We want to get some decoys. Okay. We have our steel shot. We're going to focus on our steel shot.
Yep.
You're going to want to get that now because if you try to get it Friday, you're going to be scrambling all over the state of Florida looking for steel shot. It happens every year. I've got 5 boxes, 10, 12 boxes from last year.
Again, I would have never thought about that.
Yeah. So I buy all mine at the end of the season because they go on sale and I can pick it up really cheap.
Okay.
So it's important to get that gear, those shells early. So now we've got our shells, we've got our guns cleaned up, ready to go. We've got our camo for the boat, we've got our decoys, and so now, hopefully we have already, kind of scouted and picked our locations. Maybe the first day of season is going to be your scout day. Who knows? You're going to need some kind of boat. You're going to need a canoe. I mostly hunt out of a canoe. So you're going to need some kind of boat to get to your spot.
That's kind of necessary, right?
It's kind of necessary. Now,
you don't duck hunt from shore?
Well, you can. I mean, if you're hunting an area that's no houses around and you're just in a swamp, yeah, you could walk right out and duck hunt.
it's also about the camouflage. I mean, being able to hide yourself, right?
Exactly. So, I've found areas where I could wade in with my waders and duck hunt and wade out.
Sure.
That's not a problem. There's no law says you got to have a boat. The rule of thumb is you need camouflage. So you can haul your palmetto fronds in, anchor them in the mud, and you can stand inside your palmetto fronds. If there's no, and voila,
sure.
you're good. So you found your area. You hopefully found your ducks. You want to get there super early because trust me, the duck hunters are going to be there early. Season starts at safe light, which is usually around 6:55.
Oh, really?
Yeah, safe light.
Okay.
What they consider safe light. You'll hear the first shot go off about 6:30.
Is there a legal description for safe light?
Yes. The time.
Oh, it is is that an actual time?
Sunrise.
Okay.
That is the time. If it says 6:55 and that game warden is anywhere near you, he hears a shot and he can pinpoint, he will get you for whatever they get you for.
Okay.
I've never heard of it happening. Only in Emerald Marsh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to nail you there. Binoculars. All the police officer needs is binoculars, and he will wait on you.
Very kind.
We saw shooting ducks. He saw us shooting ducks, and we were trying to sort out the ducks. You shot this one, I shot that one, because you only allowed so many of each.
Sure.
And he checked us on the way out because he watched us with binoculars, and he says he thought we were unsure of the types of ducks we were shooting. We were sure of the types of ducks. We just wanted to make sure that.
What triggered him to that?
He watched us with binoculars. We were doing the most shooting. We happened to have the best spot in Emerald Marsh, and we were closest to the road.
Okay.
We were in a canoe. He saw us put in, and so he watched us, and it just raised the question. That these guys know what they're doing. This was about my 5th year of duck season.
Wow.
So, yeah. So be cognizant. Be ethical. There's going to be hunters. Very close. I try to keep my shots, above tree level. If one comes flying in low, right at, eye level, I don't fire.
Okay.
I never know where the hunters are going to be. I mean, they're so camouflaged. I've driven over their decoys with my boat.
They could literally be on the other side of the river, right?
They could be right on the other side of the. I mean, we've been rained with pellets before. That's no big deal.
No big deal.
But, yeah, I mean, you get rained with pellets.
Seriously.
But, when someone shoots directly at you, then, there's some danger potential there. Even though you could be 100 yards away, there's
wow.
It's just one of those things. Follow-up shots when the duck hits the water are a little shaky as well. I make sure that, our follow-up shots are not within any distance. I try to stay away from other hunters. A lot of other hunters think they own the whole lake, and it's. I let them know quickly they don't. I'm hunting right here now. You know.
Well, let's back up. So Saturday morning, you're going
Saturday
out. Where
morning,
are you going? I would like to see. I know you talked about this a little last night. Do you mind repeating?
I do not. I don't mind repeating at all.
Do me a favor. Your Switchercast app.
Okay.
Can you relaunch that for me?
I will.
Rodney,
okay.
If you know what I mean by that.
Ready?
Yep. Just close it and relaunch it so I can grab you over here.
You got it. I'm closing it now.
I'm still recovering over here slightly.
Okay.
And yeah, because I'm curious to see.
Yep. Nope. You got it.
Yep, I got you. Because I'm curious to see if you would mind walk us through that again and show us where you're going, physically going. Where are you putting in and where are you going to set up camp?
Here is where I'm putting in. I'm going to zoom in very slowly. Okay. And then let me let this catch up. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in right here. If you can see this off Granada, this is called Granada Boat Ramp. Now I'm going to tell you right now, this boat ramp is going to be completely full the morning of duck season. People will be parking out on this road. Most of them go out the night before, and they hunt. They stay on Mackeson Island. So let me zoom out here, and they stay on this island, and this is where they camp out first night of duck season. So the good thing about me is I have my canoe on the back of my truck. on the back of my truck, so a lot of times I can find a place to park. Now, I will paddle my canoe early squirrely. I have lights on my canoe. I do have nav lights. So I will paddle my canoe, depending on the wind, if there's no wind, directly across this lake. I know it's a little spooky, but I follow this ridge line here, and I get right out here on this grass. I'm trying to do it slowly so you guys can follow me. And believe it or not, this is all grass out here. All out here is just all grass. Now, you can set up anywhere out here, but I would recommend, if you have a duck boat or an airboat or anything of the sort, setting up around these areas here. I promise you, it's going to be full of duck hunters, so be patient, be cognizant of what's out there, and then that's where I'm going to hunt this weekend. I'll be over this side. This area here will be full of duck hunters, but the majority of the ducks, if you see this line here, it's here and it's a little thicker. So that's where the majority of the duck hunters are going to be. They're going to be on, I keep wanting to point in my finger like you can see me. So if you follow my mouse here, you know, it's going to be out here. That's going to be the area. So, you know, take your take your palmetto leaves, you know, and take your time. And I'm going to show you another spot that's fantastic. Now, this whole corner right here is absolutely phenomenal. And the only reason I don't hunt here is because the guys from the island get that area first. So if you have a mud motor or some kind of boat and you can get there pretty quick in the morning, I would recommend setting up in this area here around 2 a.m. And that way you can beat the guys from the island. If you're one of the guys staying on the island, you know, pooey on you. So this whole area here, because it's super hydrilla, smartweed, and it's all the trimmings. Now, ideally, if you get your airboat back in here, that's where you want to be. But that's some thick stuff.
Zoom into that area right there.
I used to take my mud boat back here, my Go Devil, and this is, oh my gosh, this is a phenomenal. This whole, from right here to this edge all the way back to here is about a half a mile. So there's plenty of here to work with. So I've seen guys literally standing in the water out here and hunting. I would not recommend that because there are some. This is where the big alligators are. I just wouldn't do it. Let me get back out here. I just absolutely wouldn't do it. So those are the areas that I would recommend and where I'm going to be this weekend. And I will tell you this, if there's way too many boats and I just don't feel like hassling it, I will travel to a different area. But on the most part, this is probably where you're going to find me, is right here. And I'll be in my canoe.
So you're going to canoe. Once you're out there, you don't get out of your canoe to reposition or to
No.
I mean, you're in your canoe the whole time.
Yeah, we'll have a couple different canoes. Nick and I have invented some canoe stabilizers,
right?
That that we can stand up in our canoe.
You can set those without getting out.
Yeah, we can set them without getting out. The small canoe, I'll have the two guys in their canoe, and then the small canoe is probably most likely what I'll hunt out of, and then I'll be what's called the duck retriever.
Okay,
I'll be the retriever. Once we down a couple ducks, I can pull the small canoe out a lot easier.
You don't have to bring them back in your mouth, do you?
No. Okay. I quit doing that years ago. It's a lot of swimming.
That duck hunting trick is over.
That particular that phase of my life is long gone. So, and then the key is identifying ducks. If this is your first season,
this is a big part of it, isn't it?
Yes. If this is your first season and you're like, I want to be a duck hunter this year, and you're not hunting with someone, I would recommend you just put your shotgun away and hunt with binoculars. I did it my first year, and it really wasn't that tough. It was actually it's probably one of my most enjoyable duck hunts. We did buy our license. We bought everything ready to hunt, and we realized that maybe we should just watch this year, and that's what we did. We did more, virtual duck hunting than ever. And we went out season, and it's just, you don't want to be caught with the wrong duck. To me, if you duck hunt for the first time by yourself, it is the most unethical thing you could possibly do.
Wow.
you could shoot something that you're absolutely not supposed to shoot. You're going to do one or two things. You're going to let it lay, and you just killed a endangered species, or you're going to take it back and get caught with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Because there's a 99% chance that there's a game warden at the boat ramp waiting.
Yeah.
They're on high alert.
Or already watching you with his binoculars.
Or already watching you with his binoculars. So, they could be waiting at the boat ramp, and they're going to check you. They're going to check every shell you got to make sure you don't have lead shot. They're going to check your licenses. They're going to check your registration to your boat. They're going to check your shotgun plug. Remember, do not forget this part. Your shotgun can only hold 3 shells. That's it.
Wow.
So you have a plug in your shotgun. If you take it out for deer season and it holds 5, make sure you only hold 3 shells in your shotgun. Put your plug back in. If you get caught with a gun, if you say, well, officer, I only put 3 in it, they're not hearing that. This is a federal offense.
Serious business.
This is serious business. Yeah. So, and all I ask from a personal note, if you down a duck and you cannot find it, consider it a shot duck. Count it one of your 6. And I know a lot of hunters out there saying, I ain't doing that. I'm going to kill another duck. Well, then you're not hunting with me.
Yeah.
Now, that I assure you.
Yeah.
You down a duck, that's your duck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't care if you down 6 ducks and you didn't find any of them. You're done.
Wow.
In my boat.
Sure.
That's how I roll. It's just not going to go. There's no other option for me. I love this sport. I do it every year, and I have for 15 years, and I pray I get to do it for another 15, So it's important that we be the scholars of this. It's just dear to my heart.
Well, somebody just texted and says make sure to take a magnet so if someone flips out of the canoe, you can get your gun back.
You can get your gun back. Did you hear that story? Last year, Nick had his gun laying on the back of his boat, and he's paddling, and he just, I don't know what he did, but he flipped his gun right out of the boat. So I go back, and he's trying to look for the gun with his paddle, and I said, dude, you're going to have to get out. And he jumped out of the boat with his phone in his pocket. So, yeah, it was just, secure your firearm.
Wow.
Unload it before you start paddling.
Wow.
So, there you have it.
Oh, my goodness.
Mike, we're almost out of show
We are
already.
almost out of show. Hey, you posted something from Peter Updike's.
Oh, yes.
Did he post this on his Facebook page?
Yeah, it's on his Facebook page. We follow, obviously Peter Updike's our good friends. He wrote a book called The Treasures of an Outdoorsman. Mm-hmm. I read the book. It's an absolutely amazing book. I'm not going to ask Mike if he ever finished the book. I don't dare ask Mike.
I'm about 3/4 of the way through. You can ask me.
Oh, okay.
I'm savoring it.
You know what?
This is a book to savor.
Actually, I wish I would have savored it. I honestly do. It's just, I read through it. I just get so entangled in it.
No, I really enjoyed the moments that my wife and I were out looking at when we were camping, and we read. I'm waiting for another moment like that. I don't want to sit in a room by myself and read this.
We are going to take this book and we're going to read out of it, Mike. Yes, we are. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So anyway, our good buddy Peter Updike harvested a buck this weekend, and I'm so proud of him. He's a true hunter scholar in my book.
Yeah.
And we got a video that we're going to play.
Hope he doesn't mind. We don't have his permission, but we're going to play it anyway.
We're going to do it anyway. Sue us.
Come on the show and talk about it.
Come on the show and talk about it. So you're going to play it now?
I'm
Are you able
play
to?
It now.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
Lay it on us.
Check this out.
Not sure how much video time I got left, but this is the place and this is the moment. I'll make every ounce of it count. I just can't get over the feeling of euphoria and regret and celebration and sadness all balled up into one, because it's never easy taking and killing a wild animal. If you don't have some sense of remorse, then there's something wrong with you. I do. I don't particularly care for the feeling I get when something dies. But I'm a hunter. and I like providing. It's webbed inside me. I can't really explain it. I mean, sure, I go to the store, I buy meat, but that's not my point. The point is, there's something in me that makes me want to hunt. There's something in me that feeds my spirit. And I got to drag this buck all the way back to the truck. Holy smokes. It was 43 degrees this morning down here in the bottom, according to the truck. And it's nice and cool right now, so I'm not in a hurry to get my deer out of here. I'm just going to take my time and enjoy the moment. Stop. Sit down. And admire my deer. Hard work. Friday, Veterans Day. Thanks, Rudy, for telling me to go hunt today. I told him at work I was ready to go. He said, well, you take off tomorrow. I'll take care of things. That's awesome. Thank you, brother. Love you, man. Bye.
How awesome is that? I'll tell you, and it's what I told you earlier. I don't think there's a hunter out there that don't feel that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's wow. That's all I can say. Thank you, Peter, for letting us steal that right off your Facebook. And so check this out. December 3rd, if you want to camp with us, Mike and I are camping, and that's how we always put it. We are camping. Come out, say hi. Call us on the hotline if you show up at the lakefront boat ramp. You can park there or at Granada, whichever is easier for you.
Go to the website. All the details are there.
Call us on the hotline. We'll come and get you.
Yeah.
Haul you out to the island.
December 3rd. Did you say the date?
December 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
We're going to be there December that Friday, and we are going to start our trip early to get everything set up for everybody Saturday morning. So come on out. Come say hi to us. We'll absolutely enjoy it, and then we'll be talking about it on the radio station. Mike, you got anything else?
I don't, Rodney. I've enjoyed tonight hanging out with you, as always.
Mike, an hour is never enough, is it?
It's never enough.
Never enough. And as my mama said 18 quadrillion times, that's a lot. And I pray I get to say it half as much. You kids get outside and stay.